Hey, good morning, everybody. TGIF. And look at that slide up there. Someone cannot go missing with someone knowing something somewhere. That is right. And someone somewhere knows where Jack and Lily are. They know where they're at. Now, yesterday morning, we streamed the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Hold on. Carrie G said no sound. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? I'm going to do it through my nose. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, Melanie says sounds good to her. All right. So anyway, that was a fun time, everybody getting together for some Thanksgiving cheer, no matter what country you're from. Cinnamon Hot said, sounds good. Okay, Carrie G got it reset. All right off the bat, look at that. What would Pat do? Gifted a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Look at that. Who is the lucky recipient? Who has to kiss Pat K's ass today besides me? All right, let me show you a picture. This is every turkey in America today. Now, I don't know how law enforcement is going to take care of this, but check it out. They've been hiding incognito. They have been dressing up as tacos, saying, tell me when it's over. Can everyone let me know so I can tell the turkeys when? Is it going to be over for the turkeys? I think we can give them a pass today. I think most of us are turkeyed out. It's official from CLL. Turkeys are off the hook. Well, I know who's not off the hook, and that is a woman named Shannon, I believe. I got to look again. Let me look at my notes. A guy named Vincent has been going crazy, and he's got a lot to say. He's got a lot to say about the case of Jack and Lily. Now, you're always going to get the people that say, he don't know nothing because Daniel did it all. Okay. Or you can get the people going, he doesn't know nothing because Malaya did it all. That's the reason it irks my nerves when people pick a side in these cases and they have tunnel vision and they won't look away from one person. Expand the mind. Because like I said, Vincent has had a lot to say. And I mean a lot. And yesterday, the 300 block of River Road had a heavy law enforcement presence, which is called the River John, or some people call it John's River. So sounds to me like somebody is listening to Vincent there in Nova Scotia. Now, Vincent lives not too far from Janie and Dumpster Dan, okay? Not too far at all. He says he refused for law enforcement to search his property. He has gone on to say he has 7 dogs that will eat law enforcement. No, my little Canadian home skillet. It don't work that way anywhere in the world. Because if they get a warrant and they come on your property and your dogs are acting awry, guess what they're going to get? A rubber bullet to the throat. And they're going to go, whoop, and they're going to fall over. you're not going to threaten the police with dogs. So either he's the Jody Sue Brown of the case or not. Interesting thing about Vincent is he's coming out with this now because he is terminally ill. Another interesting thing, now that's very sad. I don't mean interesting. It puts it in a different vacuum though, knowing how sick he is. But another interesting thing is his son, who lives with him on and off the property. Of course, he's not there 24/7. He has a very, very sketchy record. Before I get to all of this, let's welcome everybody back to the channel. Loosen our stretchy pants and get to it. Welcome your neighbor. Howdy, howdy. Okay, so this is Vincent Mallory. Looks like he's got some home renovations he's working on. He is called the King of Whisper on YouTube. He's a little hard to follow, especially when you read everything that he puts on Facebook. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, this is 11 minutes and 20 seconds long. I'm probably going to have to bring up a real Canadian to help me translate for you. Okay? Go ahead and give him a sub if you want. He scares the dickens out of a lot of people. If we have any real Canadians in here, feel free to grab the link. I invited Kent Corbett, but he is at a plow site today because they are anticipating a huge storm, according to him, coming through Nova Scotia. And I believe him because when people in Canada, the Northeast, or just north of me altogether say there's a huge storm coming through, I get anxious for them. Because my huge storms are funnels that come out of clouds. So let's get to it, Vince.
I want to tell you about Jack and Lily. I never met them. I don't know them. All I know, I was coming back from the graveyard up in Musquodoboit, and I almost ran over a girl. I drove her to my home because she didn't want to go nowhere. She said her boyfriend threw her out of her truck. So I knew that was a lie because she was not marked up. Anyway, I brought her home and I asked her if she wanted to go and call anybody. No. I put a coffee on. I smoked a couple of joints of weed. She didn't smoke weed. She hauled a needle envelope with a powder and a bottle of Dilaudid out of her pocket.
Okay, not sure we can say those things on YouTube. So he smoked some weed. He picked her up. She said she had a fight with the boyfriend. He said there's no marks on her, but she had a something that you sew with, but it's got a syringe on the back of it. And she was putting something called Dilaudid into her. Okay. Now, according to his Facebook, the person he's talking about, her name is Shannon Hudson. Okay, Shannon Hudson. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. No. What the hell am I watching? We're all sticking together, okay, on this one. It's a lot to unpack. He lives not far, 8, 9, 10 minutes away from Daniel and Janie. He has been in and out of the hospital since the disappearance. And he picked up a woman named Shannon Hudson. The night that Jack and Lily disappeared. All right. Now, Daniel has said that RCMP and Major Crimes have said don't give him any attention. Well, they're giving him attention. They're giving him attention because he mentioned the River John, and they had a heavy police presence at 300 block of River Road. So if he's full of shit, they wouldn't investigate it. All right, let's go back to this. We're 53 seconds in. This is Vincent, and he is single, okay? He's also terminally ill, and hey, everything's worth a conversation.
Hello, people.
My thing with him is I don't think someone that's about to die would go meet their maker with these type of lies on their conscience. But I've been wrong before. That's okay.
I want to tell you about Jack and Lily. I never met them. I don't know them. All I know, I was coming back from the graveyard up in Muscadaubit, and I almost ran over a girl.
He was coming back from the graveyard in Muscadaubit. I don't know where the hell that is. He almost ran over a girl. Not a good night. You got graveyard. You're terminally ill. You've got a son who's a sexual assaulter. And then you almost hit somebody. Damn. Bad night.
I drove her to my home because she didn't want to go nowhere. She said her boyfriend threw her out of her truck. So I knew that was a lie because she was not marked up. And
okay. She said her boyfriend threw her out of his truck, but he said he knew that was a lie because she wasn't marked up. Well, was the truck moving or was she sitting in it? Big difference, Vince.
Anyway, I brought her home and I asked her if she wanted to go and call anybody. No. I put a coffee on. I smoked a couple of joints of weed. She didn't smoke weed. She hauled a needle envelope with a powder and a bottle of Dilaudid out of her pocket. And we were talking, and I told her, I said, you need to find God. You need to get away from this shit. I don't care what your boyfriend did to you.
Stephanie said he's suspicious. Well, he is a little bit suspicious. Okay. Reason is because he's the one that says if the police come on his property, he's got 7 dogs that will eat them. Okay. He also publicly has said that he refused anyone to search his property. Okay. Now, I want to know where old girl Shannon Hudson, and we'll get to her. Trust me, we'll get to her. Where she got the Dilaudid. The first time I heard of Dilaudid, I don't even know how to spell it, is when my mother was dying of renal cell carcinoma. Okay, it sounds to me like that's something he would have considering his illness. Plead the Fifth said he probably sold it to her. Well, and the question is exactly how would this lady pay him? Because she didn't have nowhere to go. That in itself is a scary thing. thing to think of.
You need to get out of it. And she was crying, and I felt so bad for her. All right. So about an hour later, I smoked dope while I was driving. Sure did. Anyway, while I was driving, I took her home up to the reserve. Anyway, to make long story short, I never seen her again.
Okay. So he took her to the reserve. Is this the same reserve everyone's been talking about with Malaya? I need some guidance here because I don't live there.
And November.
Well, good morning, Kent Corbett. How are you? Let's do a round of applause for our friend Kent Corbett.
Sorry I'm late. I got about a half an hour, so.
Okay. Now, what's about this storm coming through? How much snow you talking?
They're saying Tuesday, Wednesday, 30 centimeters. So a foot.
Wow. How do you navigate through all that? What is
Uh,
how many feet is that? I'm in America.
30 centimeters is, well, 32 centimeters would be a foot.
Oh, so foot of
So.
snow, a lot. How fast is it going to come down?
Like it's supposed to start snowing Tuesday afternoon and
Well, then you're going to have a lot of cleanup. I hope you have plenty of groceries and everything. Now, let me ask you, Kent, have you gone through all this stuff with Vincent Mallory?
if we get it. That's what the weathermen are saying, but there's no guarantees, right?
You never know. Never know. It's hit or miss when it comes to those weathermen.
Yeah.
So what do you make out of this Vincent Mallory guy?
Well, before this video came out, I was wanting to hear what he had to say. After I watched the video, I don't know how relevant it really is. It may be, it may not be. It seems like he has some troubles, and I know he's on his. I know he has a terminal diagnosis, so.
Well, and he lives
not too far from where Daniel and them live.
Yeah, he lives right there. And this Shannon Hudson, unless she won't claim the Dilaudid that she took from him at the house. I'm assuming it's from him, but she knows him. She spoke to Belinda Gray.
Yeah, she knows of him. How far it goes, I don't know. She seems like she's at that time. She, like she said, she knows him, but since then, it seems like that she's possibly cleaned up her act.
Yeah, but I'm not her drug recovery specialist. That's not what I'm doing here. But the fact that, she is verifying that he picked her up from the road and she was talking about Jack and Lily, I think that's pretty significant, don't you think?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's information that we needed to hear. Now it's almost 3 years old or whatever.
No. Oh, 3 years. Okay.
Right? 2021, 2022. So, like I say, if it would have been within 3 months, I think it would have been looked at as, the information would have been looked at as being different. But it's hard to say. We just don't know what's happening with this case. So
Nope, nope. And I don't pretend to know. So I mean, what we do is just put together what we do know. So let's get back to what Vincent's saying.
The 27, 19, no, 2022.
Okay, so he picked her up November 19th, 2022. And yes, Jack and Lily lived there. And that's when she was talking about Jack and Lily to him.
Yeah.
We came home. Hold it. No, I gotta back up. That's the way ahead story. I brought her home. Oh yes, I'm ahead. I'm right. All right. She called me.
He's saying Shannon Hudson. Could it have been Malaya having an argument with Daniel that night, saying, I just got thrown out of the truck, and he picked Malaya up? I don't think that he really knows the difference between all these people that look alike. Because let's face it, Daniel's current girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, Taylor, looks a lot like all the other people.
Well, the only thing is on that, I can tell you that people have made contact with Shannon Hudson, and she did verify that happened back in 22.
Okay, so she's taking the credit for it. Okay,
Yeah.
we keep that to rest for now.
About 3 months later, on my birthday, November the 27th, 1922, asked me, can she come over and spend the night? I said, yes, if you're drunk, you're high, whacked out, no. I'm not into drunk women and whacked out women, okay? If I want a pig, I get my own. But anyway, let's make a long story short. I said, okay. She goes, well, I'm going to get my friend to drive me over. He lives down the road from you. And I said, don't bring him in my fucking yard. I'll tell you right now, don't bring nobody in my fucking yard. She said, well, can I meet you at Union Center? I said, sure can.
Where is Union Center? How far away is that from Vincent's property, or more importantly, Daniel, Janie, and Malaya's at the time?
Well, it's on the same road. It's just another little community. Like, you drive through Union Center before you get to Lansdowne and Lansdowne Station and all them. So I don't know. Driving down the road, it might be 5-10 miles. Probably closer, maybe 10 miles. Right now, I don't know exactly. Like, I know he said that his address, but I don't know exactly. I know he's out further than Daniel. So it might be a little bit further from his place, but I would think it'd be right around 10 miles or so. It's a Union Center Community Hall.
Okay, so it's not far. That's what I'm asking. Now, aside from the case, what do you think about him saying he's got 7 dogs that will eat the police, or he'll eat them?
Well, like I say, I think that's just, I don't know his condition, like his medical condition that is causing him to be terminally ill. So he might have wild dogs. You never know, right? People exaggerate. He may be looking for attention. It's hard to say.
Well, before I get to this, I want to give a special shout out to an amazing little girl named Livy, who is celebrating her birthday today. Now, I want everyone to give a huge, huge round of applause and happy birthday to an amazing co-host and a winner of one of our contests, the amazing Libby.
It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. It's your birthday today. There's a cat licking your birthday cake. It's your birthday today.
Happy birthday, Libby. Tiger Girl said, this guy is not well, and you're going to run with this pointing at Daniel and family. Sick, in my opinion. I'm not pointing at them. I'm talking about Vincent and what he's saying. I am
Yeah,
not.
and if you watch it all, he says the Mackenzies are good people, great people. So I don't think, like some people might think, that he's talking bad about Daniel and or, but I think he's just talking about what he knows.
He's putting out information, what he knows, what little or what a lot. But I'm, Tiger Girl, I mean, we're not going to jump to conclusions, okay? I'm not pointing the finger. I'm letting this man talk. It's a conversation.
So I got in the car. I smoked a couple of joints again. You know that. That's me. That's Vince Maury. And I went down to the Union Hall. There was a black truck. There was a trailer. We got out of the, I got out of the car. She got out of the truck. He got out of the truck. I passed her stuff because that's what she wanted. And she passed it to the guy. Now it's nighttime. I don't.
He passed her stuff. She handed it to a guy at Union Station. Well,
Union Center.
Union Center. And what stuff is he talking about?
Apparently, she had a pack of needles and stuff on her.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something that I would not just pass to somebody, but hey, unless they're diabetic.
I don't think it was that type of needles.
Well, yeah, okay. And I don't think in his condition, I don't think it has anything to do with anything. I am side-eyeing his son for sure, because he has a horrible rap sheet. And I obviously his information has at least sparked something within the law enforcement community there in Nova Scotia, because they did have a heavy police presence at John River, or do you call it River John there?
It's River John.
River John.
That's quite a distance away.
Well, I wouldn't think you'd put somebody right on your property if you wanted them gone, but hey, that's just me. If I was playing the murder game, but I don't play that game.
Yeah, but like I say, well, we don't know what that.
We're not putting anything out as fact.
Yeah.
Nothing. Although I do know that 1 + 1 = 2. And when this guy says he talks about the River John and then heavy police presence shows up there, I'm taking 1 + 1 has equal to 2.
I never heard him say River John.
I'll show it to you here in just a second, okay?
Yeah.
No, in the law, you can't prove that because it's darkness, kind of a little bit of light. Was it him exactly? I'm not 100% sure. But he, when I passed the stuff, she passed to him. I went over and we shook hands. And I said, where are you from up here? He said, I live on the Lansdowne Station up the other side of the track. Oh, okay. I never thought nothing of it. And then she come here and she was straight. We both had a shower. She was clean. We made out. I'm a lucky guy. Fuck on.
Gross. Okay. He finds her on the road, which a lot of people are thinking Shannon is actually Malaya.
No, that's.
I mean, I don't think it is either. I believe that Shannon Hudson is her own person. Okay.
Yeah.
The first thing she wants to do when she gets to his house, November 19th of 2022, is not smoke weed, but shoot up Dilaudid. Okay, I think I can say that on YouTube. If not, I'll edit later. Then she makes a separate phone call, has a friend bring her over, picks her up at the Union Center, brings her stuff. Okay, they're back at the house. They each shower. I don't know if they showered together or separately. Then they make out. Okay, this sounds like a drug fiend to me. This sounds like a drug whore. This sounds like somebody that would stuck a golf ball through a water hose to get their fix. That's just what I'm saying.
At that time, it
49.
sounds like it. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Pages by MGL. I have nothing to be scared of. This guy is not mentally well, and his Facebook literally says he's playing games with everyone. Well, then he can tell it to the police. I don't know about the laws in Nova Scotia, but I mean, if you're screwing around with the case and you've got other people verifying a story, is he full of shit or are they all into it together? Because Shannon Hudson is not the only one that says this story is true. And either way, I hear the name Jack and Lily, I'm going to bring it forward. And everyone else can have their own conversation or have it here and do their own research. What would it take for you to make out with this guy, Kent? What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Nothing.
I mean, I would appreciate a stranger's help if I was, struggling on a road, but I wouldn't come back. I'd be like, hey, anytime, I can do anything for you to repay the favor, let me know.
But we know that addiction does strange things to the body, but like I say, that was 2022, and this is now, and like I say, I haven't talked to Shannon myself, but I've heard that people have talked to her now, and it seems like she's on the straight and narrow, and she confirmed some of the details, and other details that she said was absolutely false. So,
my thing is, I don't like people picking on Belinda.
and
Okay.
he was talking to Belinda as if they were friends for like a week. And then all of a sudden, whatever happened, he turned on her and started saying, oh, well, she lied and this and that just because she said she didn't know anybody in Muscatawbet. And he said, well, how can you not know anybody if you lived there for so many years? Like, a lot of people don't associate with their neighbors because it's not like your neighbor is out your front door here. Your neighbor is 4 or 5 miles away, right?
I've got neighbors that are catty corner from me that I've never met. So, I mean, I can't speak.
Yeah.
Most people go to work, come home, and it's been successfully done for, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who's losing? I mean, who's lying here?
Well, I think, like I say, that's where I said right off the bat, some of it is truth. Some of it, I think, is exaggeration. And you could probably blame some of it on his condition, whatever that is.
Well, look at this with me. He put up this post. I don't need anybody help fucking up, okay? I like it when you try to change it on me. I love it. You're good. Now go bring the kids home, detectives. Then he says, I just called the news and wait for them to contact me. Belinda says, what are you going on about? You told me Shannon took the kids. Now you're saying Daniel and my son are in on it. You told me you played a part in that drug world with Shannon, which he did. He did, because there's no way she had the Dilaudid already on her person when she got to his house. Remember, this girl was bumming, okay? She was thrown out of a truck. She was offered weed, and when that wasn't good enough, he came up with something different. He's had this illness for a long time. So you're in this drug world, is what she said. My son has lived with me for a year now. My grandchildren have been missing for over 6 months. If you know anything, speak up. Then he says, Belinda Gray, I believe now that you know about it. One question, did you tell the police her name? Well, she has spoken to Shannon on her own, and I have a good feeling they have spoken to her because she has publicly verified a lot of these details.
Love it. And then she come here and she was straight. We both had a shower. She was clean. We made out. I'm a lucky guy. Fuck, I'm 49 and she was 25. I was a lucky guy. Anyway, this make
He was 49 and she's 25. I don't care about the age difference, but that's just a few years ago.
Wow.
So he's just
The math doesn't add up because he's supposed to be turning 62 now.
what the hell is going on? So
Exactly.
he was, I mean, I would believe it if he said, if you reverse the numbers and he said he was 94. So what, the 49, Kent? I mean, that makes him around my age. I don't look nothing like this.
I think he was meaning because if you added up, 59 would make sense there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just that he misspoke and he's turning 62 now. 59 to 62 is 3 years. 2022 to 2025 is 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, like I say, I'm just analyzing it myself, and I don't think he would have been 49. I think he would have been 59.
Well, he looks a little older than that to me, but hey, you know, everyone has a different genetic disposition.
Yeah.
Long story short, that morning she was cooking me breakfast, and you know me smoking my dope. That's Vince Mallory. She was doing my dishes. I got lots of pictures of it. That's not a problem. So I'm not telling I am telling a story, a true one. And so I can talking to her because she knows my partner who passed away with cancer home in bed with me. She knew her. All right, because that's how she got my number. There's more to this story than I can say right now. Anyway, I told her about my partner who passed away, why she was leaving him, because he was diddling kids up in Muscadot. I have a lab.
Okay, I hate the word diddling, but who was diddling kids up in Muscadot?
I don't know, but going by what he says, the woman that he was with had an ex that, like, that's the only, but is it true or what? I don't know, right?
Yeah, names would help. Names would help, Vince.
Yeah.
Up top here that can't get it on, that she hid, and she hid it until she moved out of there. And I got the laptop, all right? She reported him to the police. She reported him to the school. She reported to a couple of neighbors, and no one did nothing about it. All right? I said, let it go. Nothing you can do.
Okay, no one did nothing about it. Now let's look at his son's record real quick, okay? Let's look at the son's record. All right, this is from CTV News. The suspects allegedly fled the home with electronics and an undisclosed amount of cash. Homeowners were taken to the hospital with minor injuries and released. Vincent Harland Mallory, 31, appeared in Moncton Provincial Court Monday, but police were still looking for the second suspect. The second suspect is Christopher Melanson of Moncton, Moncton.
Moncton.
Moncton. Okay.
It's in New Brunswick.
All right, that's another arrest. This is from Amherst, Vincent Herlin Mallory, the son, not the gorgeous man on the screen, Vincent Mallory Sr., of Crescent Avenue, Amherst, was recently sentenced in court to 12 months federal custody consecutive and a lifetime firearms prohibition after pleading guilty to breaking and entering a convenience store and committing theft therein. This happened November 18th, 2013, Tidnish Bridge, Highway 3366. All right, here's another crime. Disguise with intent. Sexual assault with use of a firearm. Another sexual assault, breaking and entering. Possession of a firearm for dangerous purpose. Using a firearm in the commission of an offense. Unauthorized possession of a firearm. Seems like he didn't learn his lesson. I thought guns were illegal in Canada. I guess I was misinformed.
Well, no, they are. That's why he's being charged. Like, because after the first one, when he had a lifetime ban, then that means he's never supposed to be in possession of a firearm again.
Okay. All right, 19 charges he was facing with a violent home invasion. I've never heard of a nice home invasion. Have you, Kent?
Not
No.
really, no.
I love when the media lets us know it wasn't just a regular home invasion. This one was violent. Okay. RCMP responded to the home around 1:20 a.m. Friday. Police say 2 people inside the home were assaulted and threatened by 2 men armed with long barrel guns. Okay, and then this is the public advisory I told you I would show you. There is a heavy police presence in the 300 block of River Road, River John, Pictou County, following the execution of a search warrant. They said there's no risk to the public. Could this have anything to do with the case? That I don't know, except for the fact.
Something now up in Muscatobit, but this ex-husband, she said, oh, I'm going to take these 2 little kids, she says, from this place, she said, because they're being a physical and mental abuse. And she was straight when she told me. She wasn't high. She had no drugs with her. Because she gave it to him, I guess. I seen it. Well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I said, you can't do that. That's kidnapping. That's kidnapping. I said, you need to report this and make sure they're doing it at the same time. Just don't report, because they might not be home. Yeah, my Jeff, you got to think like I do. And that was it. I drove.
Yeah, no offense to Vincent, but I'm not going to think the way he does because
No.
Okay. Let's face it. He's picking up people that, he should probably call the police saying they need help, and they call him back for more help. And after he takes a couple of tokes, next thing you know, we got needles floating around and we're taking showers together. And next thing you know, once the dust settles, someone's making you breakfast. So no, I'm not going to think the way Vincent does. Okay. Wolfie just said, hey to you, Kent. How are you? And Daphne, if you want to come up, here is the link. So let's not think the way that Vincent does. And I still cannot believe that just, not long ago, he was 49 years old. There's a lot to unpack here.
Kidnapping. That's kidnapping. I said, you need to report this and make sure they're doing it at the same time. Just don't report because they might not be home. You get my drift? You got to think like I do. And that was it. I drove her back up to the reserve and a couple places. And I came home and I have talked to her again. I think I seen her again. Yeah, I did. Yeah, she called me, pick her up, and I went back and picked her up. She was all whacked the fuck out. The time I got home, I drove her back, and I wanted to throw her out of the fucking truck because she was a retard, but I didn't throw her in the truck. I took her back to Stewiacke, and I dropped her off at the service station up there.
All right, so she was whacked out of her mind. She's talking about kidnapping, and he took her to Stewiacke. How far is that away from where Jack and Lily resided on May 2nd? And, well, basically the general area because he lives right next to him.
Well, it all depends whereabouts in the Stewiacke that he took them, but it'd be a 45-minute hour away.
Mm-hmm.
She was a retard, but I didn't throw her in the truck. I took her back to Stewiacke, and I dropped her off at the service station up there. Now I remember that. Yeah, it came right back to me. My video camera came on, and then I never heard of her. And then I offer her a job here because I need help. Continuous care, BON won't come here because I told them that they messed up on the 20s, the mass shooting at the 27 people. They all messed up. They didn't do the job. They could have saved 27 people. But anyway, make a long story short, I tried to call her and tell her. She wouldn't talk to me. She said no. She said, I got to be careful texting you, stuff like that. So I knew what was going on, but I didn't exactly knew what. But I found out anyway. Okay, you'll see here soon. But that's the story. That's the story. Now, do I know Daniel? No. I met him for 1 second. No, second, 1 minute, maybe. That's it. Shook hands.
Okay, well, you've met him. Then you've met him. Okay? You've met him.
Well, he thinks he did. He thinks it was Daniel that was in the black truck. But the thing is from anybody that we can talk to,
He can't be sure about that. Come on, Vince. Come on,
that's what I mean. How does he? And apparently Shannon never ever told him who it was he was meeting or she was meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say if he even ever met Daniel.
I mean, come on, be fair here, man. Daniel in the court of public opinion is in enough hot water. Don't be assuming that he was the guy in the black truck unless you know for certain. You can speculate it to RCMP. Just don't say it publicly. There's a lot of crazies out there.
And we see that he's one.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't run across him. You've been working really hard on this case. Has he bought any signs or flyers or anything that you know of?
No. I didn't know of him until his name came up last week, started appearing on Facebook about talking to Belinda.
And that went over like a snowball in fucking Cuba, okay? Because she wasn't having none of his shit. He's trying to say that Daniel and Cody.
Yeah, like, how would you put them together?
Really?
Good job. They could have saved 27 people. But anyway, make a long story short,
I tried to call her and tell her. She wouldn't talk to me. She said no. She said, I got to be careful texting you, stuff like that. So I knew what was going on, but I didn't exactly knew what. But I found out anyway. Okay, you'll see here soon. But that's the story. That's the story. Now, do I know Daniel? No. I met him for 1 second. No, second, 1 minute, maybe. That's it. Shook hand, he asked, told him. That was it. Never knew him. I never knew he lived up there. Now, the only one I really know is Brad Wong, and I don't know him. I know of him.
Hey, Kent. So a lot of people give this Brad Wong a lot of shit. They're blaming him in a lot of different circles, and they're saying that he refused to have his property searched. Well, now, I don't see how you can refuse without a warrant. Now, if somebody who is not law enforcement comes to your door and says, hey, I want to search, you have to just be like, no, hell no, I know who you are. Get out of here. You could be here to rob me, man. It's like those people that come and they have those eBay uniforms on, and they pretend like they're there to check out your cable or your natural gas or anything like that. You don't. Yeah. So my question is, was a warrant ever searched on Vince's property? Because his address it's right there on that road.
As far as Vince's property, I don't know if it was served on Vince's or not. He's on the up past Brad Wong's.
Uh-huh.
And I know just by the search maps, the focus was more on Daniels on their side of the road and behind their property.
Uh-huh.
They did search some on the other side of the road, like when the Lorda Park area and stuff. But I don't know if they went as far that way to get to Vincent's property or not. He said it wasn't. He said nobody in this video. He said that nobody ever came, and because he has buildings out in the back that he can't get to because of his physical condition.
Uh-huh.
And he thought that the police should have come and looked at them, but said they didn't. So I don't know.
But Brad Wong, his property was searched, and I have no reason to discredit him. Now, if I had the money and I had the time and I had commercial property there in Nova Scotia, I would put you, Brad, and me into a Chinese restaurant called Brad's Wong. There would be people around the corner. Would you eat at Brad's Wong, Kent?
Not likely. I know him or know of him.
Okay,
I don't really know him, but I know of him.
Okay, we will see if Brad Wong wants to open a Chinese restaurant called Brad's Wong. Just bring it up to him.
I know a couple other guys that does crime, home invasion, and got away with it because they work with the RCMP. I knew this. That's why.
No, you're talking about your own son, and he does not work at the RCMP, Vincent. He does not.
I knew he lived up there. Now, the only one I really know is Brad Wong, and I don't know him. I know of him. I know a couple other guys that does crime, home invasion, and got away with it because they work with the RCMP. I knew this. That's why I didn't call the RCMP the first day I heard this. I was waiting for them to come to my house because I live down the road and I'm Vince Mallory. And I don't give a fuck, and they know that, all right? They know that. I don't give a fuck for them piece of shit. I know they're involved. I knew this way before these kids went missing. These fucking creeps were involved with the RCMP. I have evidence on the RCMP. New Brunswick. Lawyers, doctors, prosecutors.
And I'm sure they're hanging on his every word. Okay. Shenanigans. What's up, girlfriend? Said Vincent lives on, how do you pronounce the name, Kent?
Gerlach Road.
Gerlach Road. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in a different way. Past Rockland on the way to Union Center, which makes sense considering that him and Shannon met a guy in a black truck down there, and she's confirmed that.
Yeah. Well, she never confirmed that they met a guy in the black truck. They confirmed that they met a guy.
A guy. Mm-hmm. Now, what was her exact words about that?
It was to get stuff, not give stuff.
But he brought her the bag full of the needles.
Well, I don't know. I think she might have had the needles, but brung the stuff for the needles.
Very good point, because considering, he found her tore up from the floor up there on the road and took her back to his house, and he's just rolling, and she wanted something stronger. She didn't seem to have anything on her. Now, what did Tom say? Hold up. Might have found Shannon's, the one that Vincent's talking about, her social media account. Lo and behold, she is friends with Rector's mom. Oh, what do you think about that, Kent?
Who's Rector's mom?
Rector's mom.
Who's Rector?
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Seems like I'm confusing
Never,
things.
never heard that name.
Well, you will in a second, but it is interesting.
But yeah, no, she knows Cody. They went, Shannon and Cody went to school together.
Okay.
We do know that.
Well, what would her connection to Daniel be aside from hanging around Gerlach Road and being picked up and taken to Vincent's house, who also lives on that road?
She said that she don't know Daniel.
Then, okay, then we got to take her at her word.
Yeah.
All right, Tom let the cat out of the bag. Daniel Rector was just charged with SA, and he videoed the assault that he's arrested for. So she's also friends with him.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I know people will say, but that's just Facebook friends. That's just Facebook friends. You know how long somebody would be a Facebook friend of mine if they are charged with a sexual assault or any kind of crime? Hell no. I had to hear that shit about Candace Wells a couple of weeks ago when I brought up Breonna Tester. They're like, it's just Facebook friends, just Facebook friends. Well, then why do you have 5 accounts and you're still Facebook friends with the same person? You know? Come on, man.
This way before these kids went missing, these fucking creeps were involved with the RCMP. I have evidence on the RCMP. New Brunswick, lawyers, doctors, prosecutors, judges, politicians. I know. Back from the 80s, Crime Stoppers came out. Entrapment came out.
Well, if he was 49 years old a couple of years ago when all this went down with Shannon and the Dilaudid and the needles and the black truck and all the above, in the 80s, he would have been knee-high to a cricket. He's around my age. He would not have that much of a recollection about these things. I think we're looking at a different birth date than what he's letting out, because the articles about his son when he was getting in all kinds of horrible trouble. And by the way, I think his son should still be in jail. The violent sexual assault the many charges, firearm charges. You know?
But I think the easiest way to explain that is, like I say, is that Vincent was 59, not 49, 3 years ago.
I mistype all the time too. It's okay. That's the reason you see the asterisk and I correct what I say.
And that would make him 60, going on 62, and apparently his birthday was yesterday.
Well, happy Thanksgiving from America. You have done a lot here. Now, I didn't say anything about this video because I thought it could just be like another, well, like we see in every case, someone that just comes out of the woodwork and they have a lot to say but nothing to say. You know what I mean? However, since Shannon is confirming a lot of his details, I can't ignore that. Can you, Kent?
No, like that's like why we wanted to hear what he says and tried to get him to, like, rather than just put it in a post on Facebook, like people were trying to get him to make a video and whatnot so that they could see and hear what he's saying and then judge it for themselves. And like I say, you got to take any and all information that you can in this case and put it together or throw it out the window. So, like, we got in a couple other names from Vincent to check out, himself and Shannon. So you check them out and you see what comes true and what doesn't come true, and then, okay, is she in that state now? And from, like I say, Belinda has talked to her, and she denies anything or saying anything about the kids and doing anything with the kids. But I'm sure when the RCMP would have seen this, or when he told the crime unit, I would imagine that the crime unit would follow up and check out Shannon as well as they would any other lead.
Well, I think the really sad thing is, and I misunderstood you the last couple of shows when you kept saying, you know, these people on the internet keep, you know, using these fake names. I think what you meant was, and if I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong, the people that are popping up in the Jack and Lily case that are using fake profiles.
Yeah, like the fake profiles. Like there's a number of them.
When you say fake names, like, I mean, we're friends on Facebook. You know, my name is Brooks. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's my channel name. It says Crime, Lines, and Lies. Okay. My first name is not Crime. My middle name is not Lines. And my last name, thankfully, is not Lies. But
no, but that's your name of the YouTube channel.
Right.
But I'm talking about people that are in chat rooms and whatnot, and they're talking about as different people from what their real name is. Like Kent Corvett is my name.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
And then see, well, like, you know, Taylor, you know, that chick, that married chick that Daniel was associating with.
Yep.
She created another profile, and she only has one friend, Taylor, and her current husband, and I think its name is Owen something. And I mean, if you just joined a group and you just created your Facebook page and you've got two friends, listen, Magnum PI, we can all figure out that you're hiding behind not just a keyboard but a fake profile. Let me let Kent explain this. Passion Flower wants to know, who is Shannon?
Shannon was a person that this guy on screen, Vincent Mowry, said that he picked up in the street 3 years ago. She told him a story that her boyfriend kicked out of a vehicle. She asked him to take her to the Union Center Hall to meet somebody to get some illicit drugs. They went back to his place, and this guy made the statement that back then she made a statement that she was going to take the two kids away from that trailer because they were being abused and possibly assaulted and whatnot.
That's what
She
she said.
denies the part about saying anything about the kids. She said yes, he picked her up. She said yes, he took her to the Union Center Hall to get illicit drugs. Didn't say who it was that she met. He thinks it might have been Daniel. As far as we can tell, Daniel never owned a black truck, but whether it was black or just dark in color, we don't know. So she has admitted to some stuff, but other stuff she emphatically denies.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it seems like she's cleaned up her act now, and she's on the straight and narrow. So, you believe what you believe and take the information for what it's worth and move on to the next person.
Right. However, BioDad, I don't think has a damn thing to do with this. I mean, at all.
No,
And-
like he terminated his rights, like when he gave up fighting for them, because
Which
he
is
didn't-
sad. Which
he
is sad.
didn't want to be involved with what Malaya was like at that time. And he said, okay, if you want to fight me for custody, you take them. And he hasn't been involved in their life, and he doesn't have a job now. He's living with Belinda because he lost his job. He lost his car. So unless he had friends helping him out, it would be very difficult for him to pull off something and get the kids away. So, yeah, no, basically, you can pretty much, from what the RCMP has said, you can say that that is the person that they have cleared, is Cody.
I mean, I even read that on Wikipedia. Okay, so be it. But you can't leave that trailer. You can't leave that area where supposedly a pool was being put up and oh, look, we have brand new swings. Something originated from there. I'm not saying it was Daniel. I'm not saying it was Malaya. I'm not saying it was Janie, but you can't leave that area. That's where the children lived. And let's face it, they didn't hightail it to New York City and decide to join Broadway. Somebody moved them.
Not themselves, no.
And if Cody didn't want to be involved with his kid's life, well, you know, it's not a good look, dude. He didn't like the way she was acting. Well, I mean, you don't have to be with her, but you know, you need to do something for your kids. I mean, do you agree, Kent?
Well, yes. It shows that he, I don't know what the proper word was, whether it was care or want to be involved in enough. Like most parents would still fight to be involved, whether they had to, like they wouldn't necessarily want to co-parent with their ex. I understand that.
Well, it's easy. You just say, meet me at the store. I'll get
Yeah.
the kids and I'll bring them back Sunday night. There you
Right.
go. And I understand that Belinda, I mean, and I'm not giving hell to Belinda, but she's trying to navigate this from all fronts. She doesn't want her son brought up. She wants the focus to be on her grandchildren. You
Yep.
know, it's kind of like she might have the mindset that the past is the past. Let's not bring up what happened between Malaya and Cody, because she said she was shocked at the conditions that Malaya was living in.
Yeah.
I know. All right. There's only one way they're going to stop me is kill me. And they ain't got no fucking balls, okay? When they beat at me in prison and all that, the guards beat at me and raped me. Do you know what I'm saying to you guys? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I ain't got no help.
And I am sorry. And there's 3 little kids in missing. I should have been looked at. They should have came here and searched these property. I told the detectives a month ago my land would never skirt behind me because this is the #1 hot spot for hot stuff for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. All right? I know I caught them in my woods. All right? I got 7 fucking dogs. My dog don't eat them, I will. I'm very hungry. You understand me?
You're not going to eat your dogs, you fucking freak.
No,
Shannon.
no, he's gonna eat the people that come with his dogs.
Yeah, very sane. Shannon Hudson is in chat right now. Shannon, you are more than welcome to grab the link. That is the best way to clear your name. And I'm going to go ahead and send you a Facebook request. Okay. And that's the best way to do it, girlfriend. You just come up and just be like, yeah, hey, yeah, I took a ride from the dude. I'm not Malaya. I'm not Malaya. Everyone's going to be kind to you. No one's going to accuse you of anything you didn't do. But you are more than welcome to come up. Right, Kent?
Yeah, like I'd never talked to her. I'd like to hear. But like I say, I'm just hearing feedback from people that said that they've talked to her, and that's why anything that I said or that I heard that she denied of doing that, I let you know that she denied it, and anything that she said that was true. So I don't know if she's willing to come up on live or not, but it's not so bad when you do get up here, Shannon, believe me.
Believe me, it's much easier to have a conversation with someone. The meanest people on the internet are the ones that just spout out a bunch of bullshit and say, believe me or I'm leaving. Or this is my opinion and you kiss my ass. Those are the ones I can't deal with. You want to have a convo? Have a convo. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I'm not going to tell you what your opinion is. You know, your definition of disrespect is not my definition. We're all adults. So, Shannon, you're more than welcome to come up.
30, 40, 50 years, all right? I know I caught them in my woods. All right, I got 7 fucking dogs. My dog don't eat them, I will. I'm very hungry. You understand me? RCMP are a piece of shit.
All right. And I don't believe all detectives, all right? Because there is somebody involved in human trafficking and it just ain't people.
Okay, Tiger Girl, and that's very, very important to know because I'm not going to edit anything. I'm not going to chop anything up, but I don't know if any other YouTube creator will try to make it sound different. I will be fair and kind. I don't expect her to tell anything uncomfortable. Nothing. But she has, I mean, I'll mute myself. She can say whatever she wants to say. But you are right. That's a very fair warning, Tiger Girl. But no, by the way, Kent, between you and me, and don't tell anyone, my chopping up and editing skills aren't exactly pristine, okay?
And I'm lucky I can get on the live, so.
I know you got big snow coming in, my friend.
All right. Just ain't people. You can buy the police for cash. We pay more money to the police and the government than the fucking they get it for a paycheck. All right? They're the laziest piece of shit I ever seen. In Sussex, New Brunswick, if you want a cop, you just go to Tim Hortons. Well, that's where they're all at anyway, the fucking lazy mutt. They should be holding stop signs We need Donald Trump here and get rid of the RCMP and put ISIS on the corners. And if people don't want to,
I don't think he wants ISIS on the corner. I don't think you want that in your area, Kent. I
No,
don't
I
think,
don't want Donald Trump here either. You guys can keep him.
and I certainly don't think you want ISIS on the corner. They are
No.
bad. They are bad hombres. Okay.
Yeah. No,
But
you guys can keep all that.
We don't have ISIS here either. Okay.
No.
I don't think if ISIS was on your corner and Donald Trump was there, I don't think it would last too long. Okay. That's kind of a big thing. Yeah. ISIS is no. That's a no-go.
for Tim Hortons. Well, that's what they're all at anyway, the fucking lazy mutt. They should be holding stop signs. We need Donald Trump here and get rid of the RCMP and put ISIS on the corners. And if people don't want ISIS on the corners, because they got something to hide. They got something to hide. Put them on the corner. I get in the hide. I smoked over in front of them. I don't give a fuck. And I'm sorry for my attitude, but look what they did to me. Look what they did to me. I've been 5 to 13 molested, beaten, and abused. You understand what I'm saying to you guys? Do you understand? I got no help. I asked for help. I never got it. All right? How many times I tried to kill myself?
Tiger Girl says, I agree with Vincent on RCMP being lazy. Okay, now we're having a meltdown. Yes, I totally understood he meant ICE, not ISIS. I just had to chuckle a little bit because I'm just imagining in my head Trump being in Canada and ISIS on every corner. That just would be a turd in a punch bowl. But Tiger Girl says that she agrees with Vincent that RCMP are lazy. Do you think the same, Kent?
Not yet.
You think they're...
I have faith that they're doing the investigation. They usually get their man. Are they perfect? No, nobody is. If we're still here at the 1 year mark, I will probably change my mind. But I hope I wouldn't be here now at 7 months or going on 7 months. But there has to be something going on with this case. I've mentioned it on other places lately where I've been. Almost every day on the RCMP Facebook site, you can see where they're updating. We found this missing person, whether they were missing for 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months or a month or whatever. And to me, that just means that there's something else involved in this case, because they're out there, and whether these people were runaways or actual, like, because I see that as a different aspect of missing than missing, or whatever the scenario is, I see them that they're finding these people every day. And I ask myself, what is so different that if Jack and Lily was just a simple missing persons case, why haven't they found them yet?
It's not simple. That's exactly why.
Right? So there's got to be other stuff involved in this case. I don't know what it is. But I think when it is solved, one way or the other, good or bad, hopefully good, people will look back and say, okay, that's maybe what took them so fucking long to Because I think that's the big thing, is that we just get no new information from the RCMP basically since the documents release. And yes, I know everybody's going to say, well, we had the HRD dogs in September and we had their report. Yes, I understand that. But other than that, or a brief statement, one-line statement here or there of an ongoing investigation, missing persons, no criminal crime suspected, whatever, the statement may contain, we don't have any other information. So when you got people like Vincent, including details that are then verified and details that are disputed, okay, you throw the disputed and you wish that he wouldn't have said some of that stuff that was disputed, because all it did was muddy the stuff that he did say that was able to be confirmed.
Okay. Now, can we verify real quick where Shannon resides? I don't want anyone to call her a fake or anything. I don't want.
I'm not. I'm just put it that she's out in that area. Not Daniels and there's area, but out in that area. And I ain't given the
No, I'm not.
location of anybody of it.
Card, but it's an important question. It needs to be addressed. So, because I don't want anyone to say that she's a made up person or anything.
Well, Vincent, you can remember if there's one part there back not very long ago where Vincent said where he took her home.
Exactly. You're 100%.
So go back and watch the video and you'll know she's out in that area somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And I can only speak for myself, south of your border. I appreciate when I live in Oklahoma. FBI, you're never going to squeeze a drop of blood out of that turnip, okay? You're just never going to. Forget it. You're never going to hear from them. Never. All you know is when they're involved. OSBI, they're a little transparent. The local jurisdictions, they're a little more, what's the word? Flamboyant, I guess. A little more getting ahead. Yeah, getting a little more ahead of the next election is how I look at it. But I think it's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous when they put all their cards on the table. That is so stupid to do, to tell criminals. And I'm not saying Daniel's a criminal. I'm not saying Malaya's a criminal. I'm not saying Janie. I'm not saying anyone. But you would have to be stupid to say, well, this is what we're working on today, because it just runs amok. It starts a dumpster fire. You don't do it.
But without giving us details on the investigation, I do believe there's other information that they could tell us to help us get rid of some of the speculation, guide us in a direction so that we're all pulling on the same team instead of pulling in two different directions without giving the details of the case.
And like on one hand, we live in the mind, our entertainment mind. And I'm not saying that these children being missing is entertaining, but we live in our entertainment mind where we're used to watching a movie and we can skip to the end to see how it ends if we're bored. Or we can read a book and we can read the back cover, start from chapter 1 and go through it. These are real children's lives. And so for anyone to be so narcissistic as to think that the RCMP needs to let them know every little thing they're doing, they should not tell the public unless the public is in danger. And that's just my opinion.
And our society is like that. We want, the information age is here, right? We want every bit of information that we can have, and we want it right now, and we're not going to wait. Like, everybody feels that entitlement. I know I do sometimes.
I do too. Microwave justice. And our justice system is a broke down crock pot from the damn Goodwill that needs a new cord. And look at this. Lori Wynn 4448 is a new cord around here. Welcome to the family. Look at you. A new YouTube member. Girlfriend, you're going to love it here.
Anyways, I gotta run. I got some stuff to do this afternoon. I gotta go look at a couple other properties for plowing.
All right,
So
well, you
it's,
be careful.
thanks for having me up, and
Yeah, and
we'll
keep
talk
me
to you next time.
yeah, absolutely. Keep me alert on how the weather's doing up there, okay?
Yeah, well, Tuesday and Wednesday we'll know what we're getting.
All right. You stay warm, buddy. Get you some hot cocoa, all right?
Bye.
Bye, babe. Let's have a round of applause for Kent Corbett. He is following this case heavily, and he's just a super nice dude. Woo! Lot going on. Can we all say it together? Woo! Lot going on.
You understand what I'm saying to you guys? Do you understand? I got no help. I asked for help. I never got it. All right? Do you know how many times I tried to kill myself? Oh my gosh. I shot people at home invasion. I have stabbed people for protection, to protect my life. All right?
If the cops was to come in my door right now, they better be ready, because I got 7 fucking dogs. And guess what? If my dog do need them, I will. I'll guarantee you. I never did nothing wrong. I took the blame for people. I'm not a rat. But you know what? I'm dying, and I'm going to turn this over. The system wrecked my life, my children's life.
My children's life. My children's life.
Okay, Vincent, in all fairness, your child, Vincent Jr., has made his own decisions as far as violent home invasions. Your child, Vincent Jr., has made his own choices as far as sexual assault, robbery, possession of a firearm when he was already told not to have one. Okay. And yes, he lives on that road. You'll have to rewind to the beginning to see everything that he says. But listen, Vincent, you're not going to eat people when they come on your property, police or not. Okay, you're not going to do it there. Jeffrey Dahmer, you're not going to do it. And if you think that the police are scared of you and your dogs, you're crazy. Because if your dogs are in the way, dogs are not important when they want to get their job done. You see, they'll pepper spray them. They'll shoot them with rubber bullets. And if need be, they will put them 100% down. You, my friend, Vincent, you have caused a lot of commotion around there. Okay? A lot. Now, Shannon Hudson has verified part of your story, but not all of it. And personally, I think it's all important, except for things that are lost in translation in your brain. His opinion of RCMP, that's his opinion. But I would like to know more about the trafficking he's talking about. He said it's not just human trafficking, it's other things. Well, I can only relate it to drugs. Okay? I get that the guy's elevator is not creaking all the way to the top. And I would have just thrown this out the window altogether. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, considering other people are verifying some of the things he is saying that are true. He's probably already been talked to by the RCMP many times because he lives right there.
I never get a chance to hold my grandchildren. All right? What about that? What about that? Tell me, people. Tell me. Why? Where's my fucking rights? I'm so sorry. I swear. But this is Vince Maui. Look what they did to me. You understand, everybody?
And that's the end of it. I am not going to believe that the RCMP are so corrupt that they don't want beautiful little Jack and Lily found. I get that the guy considering Pages by MGL. Did we ever get to what you were talking about with River John or whatever? I believe he wanted to show Kent. I did show Kent, and he said that's the area of the river, but he said he believes they were searching just a house, not searching the river. So if anyone has more information, it came from the Uncensored group, and they alerted it had to do with Jack and Lily. I don't live there. I don't get the local news, so I wasn't sure. I just brought it up. Bobby said, yeah, River John, that's what Kent said, is a place, not just a river. That's the reason I love to have locals up. Nicole said she's having an issue. Let me see. Let me look at mine. You hit the $sign, and you can super chat or you can gift a membership, however you want to do it. $, membership, whatever. So I'm not going to lean too far on, that they were out there for. And if anybody wants a membership, here it is. Here it is. Now, let me see if Annette Conway has time to come up. Maybe she can fill us in on some of this because she lives right there. Spare Time said Canadians are fed up. Look at her. Spare Time said they are fed up. Spare Time, if you want to come up, you let me know. And by the way, if you're having issues on your end, go ahead and you can write YouTube a letter all day long. Won't hurt my feelings at all. Well, it's a lot going on, and at the end of it, guess who is still missing? Jack and Lily. Guess who is still missing? Jack and Lily. It's a mess. I love the comment from in here. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I love it like it's the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's like a big ball of yarn, and you pull one string, and then more and more and more come out. More and more and more come out. There's a lot of dirty hands in the disappearance of Jack and Lily, and when it all comes out, jaws are going to drop. Jaws are going to drop. Children should never be unaccounted for. And no, I will never be the person to shame a parent because their children are playing with other children. No, I will never be the parent to shame another parent because their children are outside playing. Oh, Hell no. You can forget that nonsense. I'm also not the one that's going to shame law enforcement until I actually need to. When actual missteps and corruption come out. Because when you have something that's as delicate as a missing child's case, you'll want it done correctly. You want it done correctly. And the ultimate goal is to bring the children home so they can have peace and quiet in a home that's going to take care of them, nurture them, educate them properly. But I'm not telling any of you fine people anything you don't know. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. If time cooperates with me today, and that's an iffy one, I might have another show, a part 2 for Summer Wells this afternoon. If not, I promise we will get to it. But you guys are the absolute best. And look at this. Pat K gifted a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Angel P gifted a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Mallory has been a member for 4 months. Lori, brand new member. Yes. Nicole has been a member for 2 months. Let's keep hanging out. You guys are the best. You know you have a safe place to air out your thoughts, and no one's going to tell you you're stupid or you're thinking the wrong way. Well, I mean, unless you get too aggressive and YouTube gets mad at me. Can't have that, because then we have no safe place to talk. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Black Friday. No way you're going to catch me at any of those damn stores. Wow. No way. They going crazy across the highway. Cross 75 in Glenpool at the Jinx outlet. Wow, man. They are going nuts. No, thank you, no, how. Nope, nope, no. Enjoy it. I'm going to be eating some Thanksgiving leftovers. You all have a great rest of your day. Set your reminders. And anytime you want to get in touch with me, well, by now you should know how. You all are the absolute best. Thank you for being here for the right reasons and being the best friend a girl like me could have on these nasty YouTube streets.